Greetings once again, Attillies from last night. I'm going to continue the idea of some points of interest. Awareness of focus. Do you guys think you intentionalize your focus? Raise your hand. Okay. But why is this reality here? You focus to go to the store, but what's in there? The trees, the sidewalk, the store itself, the employees. Are they all not awareness? Yes. They had to have been focused on. Oh, yes. You're going to get in your range of frequency. That's interpreted by, of course, your quasi-mind. What you have already focused upon. That focal point is beyond your measure, beyond your comprehension. The now is excitingly large. Let's keep it that way. So I want you to understand, you guys have focus of emotional range. That's where you spend your time focusing. In an emotional scale, a range of focus. That's where you think things are important. When you get triggered, you're focusing on the triggering. That's then your easiest interpretation of existence. It's so familiar, and you habitualize yourself. But you must understand, your awareness of focus has brought in this. It's a shade, I suppose. A vertical blind, Roxy says. It's in your focus. So, in other words, last night's class was already in your focus awareness. Oh, there's Lorraine. Very good. She thought she'd join in tonight. She's down in Louisiana still, enjoying her nows. So, we taught the class last night. I did, in such manners like that. We taught it together in focus. Focus awareness brings more availability than what you guys are comprehending because you have a definitive eyes. Your eyes are, let's say, pinpointed. You're very focused in on what? Relevance. Measure. We gave you a class last night that brought into your awareness what's already been focused upon, what's already there. And now here's the gift about that class. You can ponder it as such you have understood it in whatever ways you choose to pursue in focus upon that idea. However, understand and know this as a certainty that if it is in your awareness, then it is known in its totality. And it's a matter of the conscious self focus abilities that brings in the circumferencing idea of the teachings. Quite simple, truly. You're going to start noticing the more you back up and look at the big picture, the more you notice the realities of the now that have already been focused upon because they're there. They're in your awareness. Awareness of focus is a broader scope. You guys are leaving out the sunshine and focusing in on the drama. Leaving out the patio, focusing in on the bill that's due. But it's all awareness. But you still comprehend something in measurement, and that's why you don't pay much homage to the balcony, patio, the sunlight, the blue sky. We don't want you to focus in it at all, because that awareness gives you the vibrational context of what it is, because it's in your reality. So where would your focus go then if you are not focusing just on the, let's say, the sunshine? You're not actually watching the idea of a sunset. You're musing with it. You're maybe communing with it. There you go. Now you start maybe seeing that you really don't need to focus on anything in particular in your nows, do you? Not so much. Mm-mm. There will be a passion idea of maybe doing your mastery, focusing on how to turn on the computer and click the class and join, but that's really not an effort of focus. That's almost automatic now. And then now you guys are focused in on this. We want you to start seeing how you move your points of awareness. It's like God in and of himself. He only had one set of eyes. He can only see from one point of view. So if you wanted to get really finite, very small, and look at things intricately, he'd have to focus in on that, but he wasn't seeing the rest of himself. He was only seeing this point. So what does he do? Creates another set of eyes. So he sees from here and here at the same time. You are no different. Of course not. Because your focus awareness is bigger than what you think it is. Your focus awareness is not just this class. It's the vibrations that have been speaking to you all the time. Everything that's communing with you, sharing with you, bringing in the idea of what it is into your focused awareness and running it through your prism self, and you bringing it to creation from your POV, your awareness, your interpretation of it, and giving it back to creation as new. Let's do that. We showed this Shagufta today, Roxy says, and she wants to show it to you. It's a very good picture, that of Tammy, which is, she is bartending tonight. Yes, she is. It's one of your student friends. So we will show you this idea. There we go. We can make it broad, and then we can share. We can do all kinds of fun stuff on the computer. Okay. So you see this as an idea, a little wisp of smoke to the left-hand side. Can you guys see that? Tommy, you guys can see that? Okay. Oh yeah, now I can see. Good. So that goes in, and this is your idea of the prism, okay? That's the connection between creation and you. And you bring it in with this little circular motion, and you bring it back out to creation, and you add your own flavor to it, okay? But this idea is not your focus. Whatever right here where my little finger is your focus. You see, you have a whole lot more coming in. And all of that's being breathed out through you. Look how much you're truly creating. Kind of that idea. We want you to broaden. This doesn't have very good edges on it. This is more, let's say, ungraspable in the immediacy of your comprehension mind. It's very large what you are already focused upon. Energy follows awareness, Abraham had stated. Your reality is created by your focus. I would dare say focus of interpretation in the now with a human point of view. Broaden your point of view. No longer allow the human point of view be your only regard to relate to reality, and then the result must be, by default, more. Simply more. More awareness of what's already been focused on by the larger whole you. You've created all realities in the now. Every single idea, pause in the idea of your nows is a new instant universe, all vibrated by the manifester of creation that you are, the bending of light. And you are down here enjoying the ride, yes. But you are also now backing up to see the ride as something more. You've allowed that. And in that, you're starting to get the teachings and the seedings. Last night's class was a very large seeding to understand how the mind is already quasied, and the repetition is the causality of focus. That's when the receptor mind, your physical mind, takes over and controls. And in the controllings of a reality, the results are with much resonation, the same. There might be different details or new ideas that weren't comprehended, but they're knowable in the known by you. In other words, they already exist in your now, and you're pulling from those resources. We're talking what's available in the now that is unknowable. No, reference, unknown to you. And that's broader. And it's not eyesight. It's not sound necessarily. There's a lot of frequencies out there you guys are tuning into. Your ears are going left and right and up and down. But the focus awareness is not what your eyes are saying. It's not what you're categorizing as dependent. It's not the idea of what happened. It's not what's going to happen. You are the broad back point of view. And you start to get more because the nows are allowed to be literally larger. What does it do for you? It expands you. It automatically, it's quite boring for a lot of humans to be just automatic because you want to do. But the boringness and allowability brings something that's now predictable. Information, connection, a new way to relate, vibrationally, core, not so much topside. Connection to more than, instead of pinpointed of less than, what's been, things like that. Hey, Brent's home, look at that. So what you guys usually focus on is emotion. Emotional scale. You see something of a detail, a vibration movie. Literally, it's a movie. And you've added attachments to those. And those attachments say, render up an emotional feeling. Now, you focus on the feeling as a causality. If you accept the feeling, it's enlightenment. The details of loved ones, and we'll just speak in this room because there's so much dependency in this room. Lots of dependencies. So you have an attachment towards a relationship. Yet you know that relationship would be disregarded if the relationship never occurred. In other words, if you were born with another mother, if you were born with another father, or if you've never met the person on the planet Earth that you regard as your lover, then of course that idea would have not had the same focused emotional value that you give it. Why does it hurt though, doesn't it? Where's Mark? You're an interesting fellow. Why does it hurt? When you are in the now and something of dependency looks like it's going to be not there. So it hurts. You're focusing on it, but why does it hurt? Why? Why does emotion enact? It could be joyful too. But we use pain because a lot of people in the class are in pain. We know why you do it. We know why you get there. You're dependent on it. You have no other way to live, blah, 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 blah. All the excuses you've been fighting for all your life to live and play the drama. The master now knows you can let go and has taken such actions to realize the freedom you all have. Perfect. But why does it hurt? Why does it make you feel? Why do you focus on something and it makes you feel happy or sad or sorrow or suffer? Got any ideas, Mark?
I think for me, it shows me that I'm creating, well, let's say fractal, but I'm creating something different from my original source. And it gives me an indication that I am creating in a way that is, or existing being in a way that is separate from my original self.
Then your natural vibration.
Natural vibration. And lately that's been a good thing because I'm sitting with that hurt and I'm sitting with that joy and I'm recognizing they're the same. I say good thing.
It is a good thing.
Yeah, it's more integrated. It's before I was trying to do something about that. I don't want to do anything about that other than recognize it as the streams of energy that are coming off the picture of the prism that you talked about. They're just a different way of creating. So then the hurt isn't so much hurt and the joy isn't so much something to be attached to. Either one, they're just what I'm doing because I can do it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
But that tells you a lot of good ideas about it. But why does it hurt? Why does it actually emotionally hurt? What has made anyone? Give me anyone. Click, raise your hand, and why have you cried today? In pain, sorrow, suffering. Anybody?
Because you had focus on that person.
You had focus. Okay.
Expectation.
No. Expectation is what, G?
Because you wish it was different.
You want to wish it was different, better, but it hurts physically.
You have attachment.
There's an attachment, yes.
Repetition.
Because Shagufta, yes, definitely repetition. Shagufta said you what? What did you say, Shagufta?
Focus.
You focused on it, right? Okay. That's not why it hurts. It's because the vibration sings a truth of diplomacy called neutrality. Okay? Until it is focused on. Okay. And then it is realized. Perfect. So there is nothing about the reality you know as pain in this particular now. And then in this now, it starts to unfold. And you know it very well because it's in your focused awareness already. You know the pain is coming. You know you're going to die in the car accident. You know not to get on the airplane. You know not to get out of the building because an earthquake's about to hit. You know. Everybody knows the broad focus of awareness. It's way larger than you guys deplete yourself in magnitude, saying not possible. Simple. Okay, perfect. So you have a vibration in the nows that is nothingness until it's already, by the way, there, until you focus on it as something of resonation measurement, okay? Then that frequency is pulled in by your focus, if you would, and run through filters. The filters are the interpreters. The interpreters react the body in accordance with the vibration after it's cleaned through the filters. The filters are pain, you get pain. The filters are fear, fear. Like the idea of Nicole, lost her mind again. Ah, pain. But it's just the situation, the input, 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 input that ran through filters that were neutral vibrations until they fit the filter. She focused on it and that let it come through, and whatever it ran through the vibration of what is, and now here's the idea of expectancy, what was expected as reality should be, because you are limited, it becomes the idea of that. So you freak out.
So is the pain the filter as it's running through the filters? Is that where the pain occurs?
The pain occurs is because the filter has told the physical brain the scenario in vibration. The physical brain then equates it to the hormones of the body. The hormones of the body shoot all the fucking shit into your bloodstream and connect to every vibrational receptor in your body to give you the experience of that vibration in interpretation of what you have experienced as that. So it's hot, it's hot. It's cold, it's cold. It's all this, everything. Are you following?
Yeah.
Okay. So neutral vibration runs through a filter, and then it tells the brain your physical way to perceive reality in emotional status, what this neutral reality is. This is the idea of the separated self you guys are learning to release and allow it to remain neutral through Sly's wonderful channeling called indifference. Then this has the possibility to show you what else is in your awareness of focus, the bigger picture, because you're not immediately taking that idea, quasi-mind now being shuffled down to the physical mind, and seeing the details. It's my mom from yesterday, so she must be the same motherfucking vibration today. Then you get that version automatically filtered, put into place, comes through, and you get the same fucking version. And then you get the emotional connection of that in historical means, and everything that you automatically trigger from the logical mind on how it's supposed to be, what might happen. If I don't do this, they will feel this, and it will be my fault because of a scenario that you brought through. But you wouldn't do that with Tom, Dick, or Harry. Why? Because you have a filter in place which gives you vibration, the bliss, the joy, the grandiose of living as an emotional being, human. It's all triggered here. That's your polarity scale. But what we would like to offer, more so, we're kind of moving in a direction the class is taking us. You guys are bountiful in the unknown. You love it. What we would tell you is that vibration. Color pencils. Vibration. That is focused upon by the resonation of the quickness, the logical mind, using time as a source of all interpretations. In other words, part of the dimension. You use it all the time, historically. Okay, you may be difficult to see. Let me see. Okay, so you have a very dark line. That's a very, very darker line in the middle. Then you have a blue, and then you have a yellow. That's all the same fucking frequency. But you take what you know and focus upon that habitually. And that's the only thing you let through your filter. The rest is discarded. This is the speakings of Seth at one time. Your higher self, whole self, is constantly bombarding you with frequencies of unknown, yet knowable because of your frequency range of interpretation that's happening. But since you are scared, habitually repetitive, movement of accomplishment in the idea, a discarder of things of not value if it doesn't perceive a matching idea of an outcome of goodness. You discard the blue vibration and the yellow vibration. You filter it right out. That's the idea that we're showing you, is the awareness of focus that is here. It's not very dark. Roxy wrote it earlier when we were discussing. So that awareness of focus is a very, very, very large area. Okay, but we're just going to diminish it down to an understanding. So let's say it's this idea of frequency that's about a foot thick, and that frequency represents a dependency. So let's say it represents an idea of an obligation dependency. So that obligation dependency, we're going to call it a job, okay? So in that scenario, that idea job, if it is brought through in time, has its own interpreted diminishment of this large, thick band of frequency about the scenario of your job and everything that you've experienced it, and you diminish it right down to what's plausible in time. So let's say it's Saturday, I got to go to work on Monday. So as soon as you think about that, historically, you got your place of work, you bring it in and what's it supposed to be like, and then that vibration comes through and interprets what is left. It shows you what's left after you filtered it with time, with the memory, with everything, and that's your reality about that. Now, when you get to work, it's different. It's a different vibration because it's experience. Although your awareness is still the idea of focused on the job, it's usually a little bit more broader. That's why work is different when you actually get there. You may still not like it, but it's not as bad because you're open to more of the frequencies. You're not depleting everything in this shitstorm until you start focusing, diminishing it down, 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 down to an emotional idea of your focused interpretation of that idea, object, job, and its obligation. Then it becomes everything rhetoric. And if that filter is frequencing in a lack vibration of a polarized field of measurement that you bought into, it hurts. All like that. Boom, boom, boom. All of this is always constantly going on. That's why you guys can go from higher than a kite to the death of you and then right back up with a moment's notice. Because if someone says, oh, and your whole world's crushed and you're about to die, and then another person says, don't worry about that, I got this here. Here's this. That saves you from that fear. And you're like, holy shit, and right back up. That quick. Because it's all every individual now that you have run your filters through. So as you guys start to lose your filters of value, repetition by allowing, so the filter can diminish itself with the idea of the neutrality, allowing it to be its own love, you stop focusing finite and start allowing wholeness. And it sings to you quasi, not physically mind, not the small vibration, the quasi. It tells you more. Can you handle it? Of course. You're multidimensional. You're a million vibrations at the same now. How can you not handle this? It's the idea of what it is in every single now. You have so many nows, plenty of time. Relax. Relax. All right. We're getting there. So now you understand. When you bring in an idea, whatever it is, and you historically mention it within your mind as such mannerisms of the past, then that filter is automatically put into place, and whatever reality comes through about that in the idea of neutrality is assigned the definition of your filters, and therefore that focus of that idea in your reality that you chose to focus on as that, because you were habits, gives the same vibrational emotion interpretation to the endocrine system, what is it? Yeah, endos. What else is there? Hormonal system, all your hormones, your glands that run the body, the fucking organs. All they do is pump blood. Boom, 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 boom. That's it. Okay, eyes see. You live because of your idea. The glands run it. Hypothermos, everything. Everything. All that is how you feel your world. All of these are just lights interpreted. The little nerves right here, that's it. The skin, waterproof, airtight. Thanks. Cool. That's it. Breeze sloughs. That protection keeps everything in. It's an organ. Glands. Oh, they tell you. They're the ones that sing to the idea. They're the ones that connect those little daggers that go in and say, ow, or ah. But see, here's the thing. The ow and the ah are the same idea looked at from a different way. It's still love. It's still creation. It's not bad. It's not negative. It's not painful. It's not hurtful. It's what you see it is. You told the body, you taught the body the idea. You didn't know you were teaching the body, but you did. Your parents taught you. Emotional abuse, pain, sorrow, degradation, beating you up for no fucking reason because you're not good enough, whatever, because they're not good enough. And they just got to pass that on because they hate themselves, so they might as well hate them children because it's the easiest thing to hate. Can't hate usually someone of authority. They hate what they, let's say, have become. So they give it to the children, and the children pass it on to theirs and such and such. You guys know the cycle. So the body learns that language. It learns vibration, guys. It understands. It's so fucking automatic. Jennifer, you got triggered today. Awesome. But the master must realize the triggering and not employ the finite focus over and over and over and over and over again. Why would it change? Why would it change? Why would it change? It can't. Everybody wants to get rescued down here. Everyone wants someone to help them. Okay. Then take that reality. Take it. Take the help. And stay helpless. You know you do this vibration now. You know you're vibrational masters, tactician of vibration. I love that term. That was epic. And vibration is how you interpret reality, guys. All this shit is already. You're just now starting to become communal with the whole world that's already here, the big picture. More than you can imagine, you're already creating and connected. But your focus on importance value, the measuring teeter-totter that's always working inside of you because you're so goddamn desperate to escape humanity because it's a miserable fucking ride from the get-go. You're always measuring, trying to find your way out of the fucking maze. We know that. You're trying to get rich, you're trying to fix, you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. La da 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 da. Well, guess what? Vibration speaks vibration in continuation if the allowability of that stays in place. Your class on will of the now will be equatable to that. So what do? You allow that filter to broaden and understand itself, because you are not pinching the filter down with the idea of the first mind we taught yesterday.
To allow that filter to broaden, is that the just stepping into it and just taking it through the course?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You can have an intention about that. The intention is allowance. Make sense? But then it remains this idea. It's so fast, it's so triggering. One, boom, just an instant of an idea scenario is so automatic, and that's what you guys are starting to notice. Why do you think you're still fucking fucked up about shit? Because you're finding the triggering ideas. Well, the triggering ideas is noticeability to you're finding parts of you that are running in the instant that idea comes up, and it sets this into play to bring in exactly that emotional status of that focused self. That's why shit keeps happening. When's it going to get better? It's not. Accept that and it gets better. Stop trying to get it to be better, because then you bring right back the lack vibration filter that looks at the frequency and gives you the same emotional status of emptiness over and over. It all is connected. There's no breaks. There's no one going to stop and give you a rest. You are masteries of vibration, and you are the exact interpretation of every amount of focus you've ever deemed as value. And you get it instantly. From a biological perspective, the amygdala refers to the memories as it perceives something as a threat and pumps the neurodepressant through the body, which produces fear in the conditional response experience. But yeah, in your world. Ha, look at that. Thank you, Seth. That's excellent. Because that right there is exactly how he will perceive reality, because that whole thing runs through a big filter that says this, and therefore that's it. That's buying into a truth that is broader, because an authority spoke it. There is nothing that is set ever. And as soon as you know that, and as soon as you don't care to handle that, and as soon as you stop claiming, I can't handle that, then you start to see the broadness of all vibrations that are breathing through to you and giving you the awareness that you all already are aware of, because it's in your big focus. That's why the nows can't be boring. They're only boring is because you're focusing from a diminutive point of view of a human trying to find something non-boring, which again is filtered, which again is focus filtered, emotional status, emotional reflection, anywhere you go. This is now how you guys are not creating out of thin air, making the idea bushes and the trees. You're not doing that. The whole's doing that, which is you from that perspective, of course. What you are doing is giving yourself the emotional ride. And what I'm here to tell you is the emotional ride turns into this. We're going to make, yeah, we can, with that, no. Where is it? Where is Roxanne? Oh, I'm going to give you a different, using yesterday's, all the different frequencies from yesterday. Remember that? But I'm going to revamp this because this is accurate. Hang on, Jen, we're getting to you. This is plausible for you. I want you to see this, okay? And I want you to deem these right now, firstly, as measurements of vibration in your world of vibration, interpretation of emotional status. In other words, down here it sucks and up here it's bliss. Perfect. Got it? And everything in between. Perfect. Now I want you to see how reality is. See this idea right here? Everything above that line is called bliss. and then it continues in the billions and billions and billions and billions of unlimited ways to interpret reality from a blissful point of view. That's what's waiting for you. That's what happens when the neutrality is allowed to be that. The indifference is employed by you in allowability, and then this starts to sing to you. And then what becomes value? Nothing. Because there's no reason to value over another reality, because it all turns into this. This death, pain, sorrow, suffering, angst, murder, rape, torture is the same thing as the lollipops and rainbows up here. You're just not bending it anymore the same way because there's no filters. Perfect. God, we are so good. Jennifer, go ahead. We unmuted you.
Okay, so I just have a question about the triggers.
The triggers are institutions. The institution has a value. When you guys hear IRS, it has a trigger. Not the Canadians.
Right.
But it is a trigger. It means something. So therefore, as soon as it was taught that trigger of the IRS means something of taking your money.
Right.
That's a trigger. We just needed to give clarity. Go ahead.
So when, for example, I'm triggered, I'm going to be open here. What I feel is I'm almost paralyzed because.
Okay, stop right there. You're not paralyzed. You're claiming that. That's what I'm trying to show you. Whatever you immediately define the trigger is doing to you, you become the standpoint of the vibration, opening up that now, because it's two different nows. It's two completely different world. Trigger and then how to perceive it. Brand new world. And you go immediately into the victimization because it caused an idea of I'm paralyzed. That's what you need to see you're doing. The trigger is causing with you. What it is the trigger is allowing now, and you can't be paralyzed because you're not claiming it.
Okay, so as the trigger is happening, my mind goes, if let's say somebody calls or there's something that happens where there's a response, I think I need to respond.
But that's what you now know. You know you don't need to. There's nothing in this fucking world, planet, universe, creation that implies a word need ever except you, humans.
So in order to allow this filter to show me more.
You don't need.
Okay, so it's just allowing the moment itself.
Of course.
Taking no action and just doing whatever.
Zero action. Because you don't know what's going to happen, but the trigger speaks to you need, and those needings 99.9% of the time are avoidance of pain. Because if you need to, that means there's a possibility of a filter that tells you in time this will progress to a diminishing idea that's going to give you an emotional content of below fun. Ha! Why else do you need to do anything? You're avoiding pain in need, right? You see that?
Yeah, I was confused because I thought that I had to go really more into whatever was telling me was pain to face it and then to let it grow. Like, for example, if somebody calls me to actually go into it and face it, that's the allowing part. So
No, the allowance is the moment. You don't have to face your fears. You can fuck your fears because there's no obligation. That's an idea. But if it comes and knocks on your door, allow it to happen. Whatever scenario to you, your truth says to take action. But you employed, I have to face it by picking up and listening to him. No, you don't.
And what about?
No, you don't.
What about avoidance?
That's not avoidance. That's your interpretation of avoidance. It's not avoidance.
What I meant was me not going into it felt like avoidance.
Well, that's your interpretation.
Okay.
Look, you're talking about the guilt with your family, correct?
Yeah.
So you didn't take an action. Is that not going into it? You didn't do what you thought you needed to do. That's allowing it.
Right. It's
You're
really,
overthinking this, baby. You are
Right.
absolutely trying to figure this out. That's why it keeps fucking regurgitating, because you're not in the immediacy of the now, allowing it to be anything. Back the fuck off. Well, you have to do that. No, I don't. Well, what about this? Nothing. Am I avoiding? No, I'm not. That's what I am. Blah, 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 blah. Listen to me, Jennifer. You need. And that's what you, oh, I don't need to do anything. Cool. Okay, cool. Become a slug, a sloth. Take some fruit, claw your way into a nice tree, and eat. And stop interacting with reality, because there's no need ever. No one can get you because it's your fucking bubble. You think there's people. You think those ideas are real. They're vibrations of intimacy, parts of awareness that create the illusional self through the prism for an experience. And you're putting value. Why don't you call someone back that has nothing to do with you? Why don't you go to a stranger and say, I need to be obligated to you. Can you give me something obligatory? Why? Because there's no value. That's what your emotional trigger, Jennifer, is saying to you, so you have to react. That's what I'm talking about. That's you taking a scenario through time and then focusing it down to a scenario of something diminished, that it gives you the input that it's all of this up here, and you've taken this in history. Historical means, and finited it down all the way down to the memorandum, enlaced, encrusted with responsibility, obligation, outcome. Here's what's going to happen. And then automatically that filter results in time in guilt. And guilt hormones get rushed into the body and you live. You got to accept that. You got to go, oh, but you keep trying to stop it. You don't stop it. You allow it. But there's nothing you need to do. Nothing. You want to escape your parents, then escape them. What the fuck is wrong with that? Nothing. At least you get to die happy, for fuck's sakes. But you want to be a conqueror and do that. But that's actually the illusionary self barking at you. That's an obligation self to win, because you're still trying to earn their goddamn love. But if you just hang up the phone and never call them again, watch how much they will hawk you, swarm you, bombard you with their dependencies. But you'll never see that side of them, because you keep the same filter running perfectly status quo as the perception. Every single time you interact with them, they're getting the same version of Jennifer. They were getting a new version. That's why they all went to fucking therapy. Oh my God, what the fuck is happening? Oh, my world's falling apart. So fuck what? God damn it, they're getting life. They're getting to live. Let them live through their own deployment, but you're responsible for their well-being. But you let the person down the street die. You laugh at the girl that got hit by a car. These are not you, Jennifer. For God's sakes, they're not you. They are the deployment of emotional status that was brought in as valuable through the idea of your belief systems, and the over and over and over again coveting reinforcement that gave you a reactionary self of avoidance or acceptance. I love the fun. I hate the pain. Stay away from the pain. We got to fix it. Oh, this might happen. And then bam, bam, and then filter, and then react, and then life. Hey, Kim's here. Hi, Kim. Everyone loves you, Kim, by the way.
That was awesome. Thank you so much.
You get that, babe?
Yeah, that was just brilliant. Thank you.
It is brilliant. It
Yeah,
is.
it is.
It's really cool how it works. You know, when you know it already, we all know it because we're vibrations. See, when you guys are in the idea of your wholeness, you explore vibration, and vibration tells you everything about it. in the nous. Let's say you spend a millennium understanding human concepts of vibration before you even went down here. Maybe you just drove around and be the idea of vibration in and of itself, and just played in the stream of human vibration and became aware of its integration, of its intimacy, of how it worked and didn't work in the action of time and causality and summation and all that. That's what you get to do. That's what we do. So I'll go spend vibrationally a focus without being a body, without being an idea of an identity, something to experience a particular density. I'll become the vibration of the density and understand that vibration from the point of view of the inside. We're limitless. But all we do is trigger limitation. So you can allow the limitation to be exposed. It's not a problem. It's evolution. It's releasing. But every time you go, man, what happened? This happened. Why, what? And then all you do is you put the same filter back into place. And whenever that detail comes up in your face, you will give you the same emotional trigger to it. Make sense?
Yes.
Brilliant. Questions, anybody?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello, Mark.
Okay. So are emotions something that I want to say transcend? Is bliss different from emotions? The experience of what we're talking about?
Yes, okay. I got you. Perfect. Your highest emotion, the eternal orgasm, is the cusp of what you are emotionally up here. You guys just have polarity. Doesn't it hurt really, really, really bad sometimes? You cry, you're just want to commit suicide. You've given up all hope. The pain is so great. That's what it's like to be a God, but you're bending it in the other direction and using the body to give you that status of feedback so you can experience as a human. But on the other side, the eternal orgasm, the connection with yourself with no filters is just the cusp. You can, yeah, you can say that, but that's measurement, but it helps. It's the bottom of where you are at right now, and you can only go up.
Right,
Make
that's
sense?
what I'm getting. I'm
Yes.
getting that the emotional, are what we call the emotional range, or Abraham, they have 22, range of emotions.
Okay.
Is heavy compared to where it is and what we're capable of being in our natural state, right?
Well, of course, yes. But heaviness is because you've taken the natural of it, the neutral of it, the bliss of it, the unconditioned, and you've added weight to it in that idea, let's say, metaphorical, by bending it into something unnatural so it becomes heavy. That would work. And then it becomes pain.
Separated, right?
Yes, it is separated in the idea, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not separated. You're just bending it from a point of view through a big-ass fucking filter.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Brent. What you got, you babe?
Thank you. This is so amazing because I was very overwhelmed at work today. I was talking to Janine about this because I was so aware of my triggers. I was like crying. And thank you, Jennifer. Your question was very helpful. So I just want to make sure I'm going over this. So when the trigger comes up, you feel the pain, you take the hit of it, and then you just allow it. You just go into allowing that you're just allowing it. And
yes. You remember the conversation you had with Roxanne the other night?
Yes, yes.
You were upset. And then what were you doing? What diplomacy were you taking action upon?
Trying to fix it.
Bingo. So you know that's the action that keeps that filter in place as a detailed causality to cause you to feel And then the triggering idea of historical past was to fix. Because your punishment reward system told you, one fuck up, you got to give me 5 attaboys. So you go doubly to try to fix it. That's why it's so passionate to fix your fuck up. Because a fuck up is a failure. And you were taught failure from such a little lad. So it's integrated in your vibrational filters as something to pay attention to. And it takes a long time to fucking undo it because you got to get through all the goddamn layers. Right?
Yeah.
But it's an immediacy, and it happens faster because your awareness is larger, and your diplomacy now of allowance, and don't do a goddamn thing. If it makes you rage, then rage. But you don't have to fix it. You just wanted to feed yourself. That's how you feel. You're like the guy. You're like the dog. That's what it is. Roxy said it. You're like the dog that chases the car. If you caught it, you don't know what to fucking do with it because you like the game between here and there. That's the way you exist. You like drama, Brent. Accept that. Accept that you love drama in the idea of identity. I need to be identified in some way against the resistance of reality so I am noticed. Peanut, because I need to be noticed. $10 of Janet Jackson, because I need to be noticed. What was authentic was the trip in the airport. That was a naked person that actually needed genuine guidance. The rest of it is just the way you fucking deploy yourself in the repetition to get noticed so you can feel worthy. Because you have no worthiness. Because you have a big asshole Catholic dad with a broomstick up his ass that taught you you're not worth a goddamn dime. Yet he gives you money. Yet he gives you this. He keeps you in that idea. Isn't that a wonderful idea, vibration? Look at all the diplomacy set into place. All the filters of Sooner's reaction. Reacting to obligation, reacting to guilt. Reacting to tyranny and subservient. Reacting to overboard and submissive. Look at that. Your world is recklessly wonderful with vibrations abound. There is a place for you, you know. Everyone has that option not to. But since humankind values the one who forged through the fire, the one who stood above, encouraged themselves in accomplishment, and gloried themselves at the outcome of I did it. You didn't do shit except live. There's nothing of measurement. As soon as you stop focusing on humanity, you know no more value. No measurement. All you know is now. Ha ha. Make sense?
Yes.
So it's all for naught. You're doing everything for nothing, literally. Because you're thinking you're doing things for something. And that's your problem. You keep that problem because it gives you life. But don't look at that as a problem and accept that's what you are, and all of a sudden you're not problematic. Now you're the experience of your interpretations. Then those interpretations take a new point of view because they're not giving the same vibration of lack. They're not giving the same value. You have a broader point of view. Then that point of view starts to change the vibration. Not
Because
literally. What?
Because I'm not observing them as problems. I'm just observing myself, observing them neutrally.
Yes, you can say that.
Okay.
Yeah. But see, I want you to see what happens now when you stop being the solver. You have to be very uncomfortable taking no action. A lot of you would stop taking a whole bunch of action if you had the future secured, wouldn't you? but you would still be the triggers. They would still rear their ugly head because you say and speak human, and therefore you will get those triggers once again. So let me finish here. So here's this big vibration that says this, and you stop feeding it the same content every time it comes in. You smash your filter against it, and you say that detail is that, and every time it comes around, it's the same. But now you just allow it. And you do nothing about it. You don't even write down the goddamn solution, Brent. You just stop for a minute. You literally stop living. You stop picking up the pen. You stop trying. You stop. Just fucking stop. And then that vibration must be larger. It will start to show you other than what you define it at, because you're so goddamn smart that you think that vibration is that, and as soon as you see it, you take it and define it and keep it in that little category because you got to handle Earth. That's what you do, babe. That's what I'm trying to show you. But when you stop and don't give it any energy and let it run over you, let it wash over you in the purest vibration that it is, it starts to speak to you vibrationally. Not interpretation through the idea of the what? The limited logical mind. Trying to make sure its reality is safe and secure. Coming and birthing and staying in a standpoint of separation. Taking all frequencies and distorting it to the equality of what it is known in separation. So then it becomes larger. And the enactment of the quasi-mind starts to give you, your fractal conscious self, an awareness of interpretation unbeknownst to you. Because you're not so goddamn fast, afraid to just let reality be. You have to fix it all the time. Fix. Wrong. Gotta find him. That's you. Okay? Nothing wrong, Brent. Nothing wrong, child. Nothing. It's the perfection of a limited being. People are swimming in your vibration now, feeling the audacity to the bliss, to the pain and the suffering that you have put out through the prism because you're God. Only you, the fractal, is playing the trump card of pity. Everyone else is on a joyride with you. Oh, yes, most certainly. Thank you for that. So that's what you got to see. You don't need to do anything on this goddamn planet. No one wants to listen to that. Everyone thinks they're going to be bored if I do nothing. But how do you guys keep moving? How do you guys keep managing? You have two fields of focus, allowance and need. I need to, I allow it. See what happens. And then action becomes the slipstream, the passion. The life that deserves your attention. That kind of idea. Make sense?
Yeah, thank you. That brings so much relief. I'm excited to
do nothing.
Practice. Yeah.
Do nothing. You don't need to think anymore. You don't need to impress anymore. You don't need to make sure we're good, because we're good in our ways. Let us be good in our ways, even if that's getting smacked upside the head by a telephone pole because we're not looking. Let us experience bang, ow. Don't save us, Brent, because I can't die ever. I'm not in pain. And you certainly don't need to take it on, because you're my hero. You're not. Ha! You got me, babe?
Yes, I understand.
Shagufta.
I'm good, actually. I am
Good
really
to go?
good. Good to go.
Excellent.
But I have to disagree about the Janet Jackson. That was just to get everyone to dance. That wasn't about
Why Janet Jackson?
being noticed. Because
Yes, it was.
That's what
I
I
wanted to
hear.
get everyone to dance. So
Yes.
here's your timeline. Here, you want me to dissect it for you? Okay, here we go. I'm going to put $10. I just want everyone to dance. No, because you have a byproduct of a binary intention because you're multidimensional, even in limitation. So you know what you did? I'll tell you. Are you ready? Your outcome of being thanked down the road for offering people that, oh, Brett, I would never have danced until you put on Janet Jackson. Thank you, mighty Brent. That's all wrapped up in that vibration of now. You had so many byproduct, binary, bicuspid, and bivalved intentional ideas for all in your world to give you life filled with kudos because you just can't stop trying to get accepted. That's all. It's literally you just trying to always impress. You're enough. You're God. Oh, I could sit here and try to convince you. But then that would be filtered into the motivational side of you instead of the I know it's me side of me. You use that, oh, you're God, you're this, you're awesome, you're that, and you put that in a storage tank called, oh, I need a little cheering up. My life is bad, so hell, that's right, that God said this about me. And I use that deployment and I put those ideas of convincing in the aid, and I make myself feel good through memorandum. You got to see you're up against a fucking monster here. The biggest goddamn monsters you guys have ever encountered. It's called vibration. It is reality. And you are trying to outsmart yourself. Ha! You get there through allowance, kid. You just stop. Never pick up the phone again, Jennifer, until you're ready to pick up the phone. And when you pick up the phone, there will be not 1 ounce of decorated vibration of dependency and laced with that action in the now. Because you are already in that now. You know that now because it's in your larger focus awareness. And that now, time spent there in the idea of repetition, in the broad now, allow, broad now, gives you the vibrational feeling of all those nows. So in other words, the phone rings and you already know the outcome. So there is no fear trigger. There's only the deployment of the God to allow those goddamn limited bastards to finally see some goddamn light because nobody else wants to have the balls to show them that they're fucking dark. So you know what they do? They keep giving them the same shit. They feed their darkness. Here, you're right, you're awesome, you're God. They do that through commandment. They do that through threats. They do that through fear. They do that through guilt. They do that through obligation, relationships, family members. Blood is thicker than water. It's all a fucking runaway train. And it's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful being that I am. Go ahead, Dana. You having fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just in regard to, like, for example, putting $10 worth of coin in for Janet Jackson.
Yes.
In awareness of that, other than giving life for yourself, say in acceptance and in love and worthiness.
What are you getting at, babe? You're decorating it real
So,
deep here.
but, well,
I'm getting lost.
If you're in awareness of all that,
Who is in awareness?
well, myself.
Brent wasn't in awareness. He had an intention. That was an action of intention. You get to interpret it as you choose. Of course, you're not a victim to that because you're an individual world interpreting as $10 worth of Janet Jackson. But I'm talking the vibrational point of view of that now, of the vibrational intention behind Brent. You get to interpret it any way you want to. It was awareness, it was awesome, you danced. Keep going.
Well, I'm just thinking in the having a awareness of Oh no, I'm not.
You had an awareness of that situation. What do you want to say about that?
That when he, okay, so if the awareness was, if he was aware that he was giving himself life, then he just moves through it in joy.
If he had no intention, it was
Yeah.
an action of slipstream. It gave no regard to distance of time. It gave nothing of interactional dimensional outcomes. It was just moving, kind of like just moving. How you guys go? I'm brushing my teeth. You're talking to your spouse. Yeah, and you're doing your little toothbrush thing without anything. There's nothing around it except you're gonna brush your fucking teeth, right?
Right.
That would have been that. And then the whole moment would have been a different vibration because his speaking from the prism is unfiltered. And therefore you guys take in more light because it's not the diminishing version of Brent. Right?
Right.
Excellent. Beautiful. We got it out of you, Dana. You just got to follow your joy and stop trying to make it so goddamn right. Ah, beautiful. Janet. Speaking of Janet Jackson, what have you got for me?
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. I just
Miss
wanted to
Jackson,
say thank you for last night. I really felt that. That was awesome. Thank you again.
You're welcome. We are that. You good? Oh, you're so sweet. Gene, what's up?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Gunga.
Gunga.
Gunga!
Oh, I love it.
Me too.
My question was, this goes very deep.
Perceive deep, but let's go.
We know deep down, we all know we are enough. We all know we do not need to do all these things that we constantly bombard ourselves to need to do. But why does it take us this time or this such hardship and this, all of this? Like,
Because you're coveting gods, G. You came here a blank slate and you covet that what you see. Any vibrational God that puts its value in a vibration in the idea becomes reality. And since you knew nothing else of connection, what you saw as life was connection. Therefore, it became life. So that's why it's hard, because you think life is hard. You covet. You didn't know when you got here. Does that make sense?
Sort of.
Oh, okay. So let me ask you a question. Did you know what fear was before you got here?
No.
Okay. Yes, you were connected at source, but your focus conscience fractal had the memory of non-connection. That's the game.
Oh.
So therefore, everything that you covet, mom, dad, food, hot, cold, became the vibrational interpretation of reality. And whenever the details are triggered in the mannerisms of the immediacy from your history, from your beliefs, one man's trash is another man's treasure, this scenario became ouch. And to the other guy, the guy goes, big fucking deal. You have those conversations. You call a friend and says, oh my God, you can't believe what happened. And they're like, yeah, wow, okay, oh, yeah, big deal. Why aren't you? Because it's not my value. That's why, because your independent individual singularity is expressing through yourselves filter and interpretations. Make sense?
Yes, so it's filters we picked up throughout the experience.
Yes, coveting gods. That's your thing. Your self that you think G is a separated self looking back at the wholeness of you. You have eyes that are looking back. And every time you say no to that reality, as in it's not, then that's you, fractal, reinforcing the fractal, because you're separating yourself from you, creation, all that is. That's why you accept all reality. You can't do shit about what is. All you can do is accept it. If you choose to separate yourself from what is, great. Nothing wrong, but you know you're going to get the filtered emotional reaction, and that gives you life. as that. The quality of life. You guys are starting to see what it is to be free. You're starting to see what it is to be free because you're filtering less and less and less and less, and all of a sudden you're cool. You're like, yeah. Many things that you guys wouldn't have done 6 months ago, you're going, fucking hey, let's do it. Because the fear is gone, the outcome is gone, the filters are diminished more and more and more, and you just want to live because life is vibration of experience, and there's nothing to fear because you are not filtering it into the vibration of that world of fear. Make sense?
Perfect.
Any more questions? Oh, come on. Come on. No, I'm kidding. You guys see it? Vibration. Yes. We teach you these things, but there's a broader frequency coming through. The less you think about this, the more you will know tomorrow. The more you know today is because of what you got yesterday. The seedings of the now are eternal. Your focus is now, and now is all that is. Wow. That's how large your focus is. You're finite in value. Be no value. Be neutral. Be indifferent. Allow. Judge nothing. Be the idea of the now in your best now. Time has shown you over and over again that all your fears are not playing out. You guys are still in love. You're still fine. You're still fed. You're still this. You're out for a ride of a lifetime. Allow it to be that. And then one day, one beautiful fucking now, you will wake up and the resonation of the vibration is going to be other than human. It's going to be a day. You're going to know it. Everyone will know it. Go ahead, Dana.
So yeah, this weekend, eliminated quite a few filters for me just in meeting everybody.
Well, yeah, because you haven't been out of the house in how fucking long?
Yeah, like
you've been a fucking hermit crab. Vibration, repetition, vibration. That's your world. You went out there and said, "Hi, I'm Dana," and then the world says, "Oh my fucking God, it's you." And you start to get the love because we're no filter gods. And you know what? Outside of humanity, it's like that. I can't wait to see my next friend because we're always hugging. It's exciting to see everybody in the now. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about the going out and just meeting strangers on the street.
Yes, because they're not strangers.
Yeah, exactly. They've become, I'm feeling them like I was feeling everybody this weekend, and
yeah, you're starting to feel connection.
Yeah.
Communion. Vibrationally one. You guys are the Borg from Star Trek, The Next Generation, except without the fear side of it. You guys share each other's thoughts. We all do. There are some civilizations that don't in evolutionary aspects. The idea of the Zetas didn't share the hive mind, if you will, that the Asani do. There are different deployments, but you all know each other up here as wholeness, and we all are the same thoughts. It's just whatever you're fucking focusing on. That's it. So now you know that you're feeling the vibration I'm talking about, not the thin one, the large one. That speaks volumes. And wherever you feel it inside of you, you start to feel them. You start to know more of them. You start to connect to perfect strangers. Because they're not disconnected. They're in your world. They're now there. You know them. The whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
So go play in the fucking playground you provided yourself with. Earth, what a playground. Go ahead, Sunny.
Hi.
Hi.
So I remember the last, one of the conversations we had is like, I'm actually allowed to feel like angry or whatever.
Of course. Why not?
Right.
Angry is the deployment of the democracies of religion that you have to contain emotional value of a scale. You have to be conservative. Hi, I have a very tight ass. I am whitey-tighty, and I will be the idea Mormon, and I will teach you how to be. Right? Vibration of Mormon. You understand that. They deployed themselves in a certain context of what? What the Zetas did. Took out emotion. It was effortless for the Zetas. They just didn't have it. It's compression with the fucking religion world, isn't it? So go ahead.
Right. So when I'm having a conversation, say with someone, and if I got angry, I actually don't have to express it. I can just go back in my room and feel that, right? So I don't have to.
If you want to, but you're afraid to express it because right now you're planning on a future scenario and you're already limiting yourself because you're afraid if you express it, you might hurt somebody's feelings or there's going to be a causality of your action of saying, what the fuck, you asswipe? Make sense?
Exactly.
Oh, way to think. Keep going with that one. That'll lead you right down to the road you've already known. Limitation. Make sense, babe?
I see. That's exactly right.
Then stop making plans. Plans? Plans?
Right.
No plans. No plans.
Thank you.
You can't figure this out. You're not smart enough. You're smart enough for a good life if you happen to be, a little good up here. You had the right scenario growing up. 1 in 1 million have an exceptional life. The rest have a fucking ouch. You're meat and potatoes. But that's it. That's life in its best because you have the best emotional range. You get to see all the colors of the rainbow. You are all the colors of the rainbow. Make sense, honey?
Yes.
Good.
Thank you.
Any other questions? How you feeling, Lorraine? Good to see you, baby. Are you tired?
Yeah, I think I am tired.
Well, then go to bed.
No, because I want to be here. I'm listening.
Well, you get the recording. We're not that important. We're really not.
I won't listen. I haven't been listening. I'm a shithead. So.
Why are you a shithead? Because you haven't been listening? Maybe you've just been living life and loving it.
Perhaps.
I would go with that vibration. Just saying.
But I like my classes. I don't miss them. I enjoy the tune-ups.
Well, you know that we're on the same time, so 7 p.m.
I know. It took me 2 weeks to figure that.
11 a.m. and 7 p.m. Central. Okay?
You don't have class tomorrow morning, though, right?
Yes. Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, yes. Good.
11 a.m. Pop in.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
I love these classes.
And we love you. All right, good. I got nothing. Seth, got to go early. Roxy, love you. Okay, bye, Seth. Did I miss you? Did you say goodbye? Oh, there you are. Okay, yes. Love you, Seth. We'll see you in the next hour. We're going to end it anyway, I think, unless there's more questions. If there's more questions, we'll take them. If not, we gave enough of the vibrational point. You got to see that we only give you about maybe a quarter of what the entire conversation has already been, what it's already occurred, what you have already been made aware of. Tiny little amount of this. And it all starts to come in naturally by itself because it is connection, period. Can't help it. You only pretend, literally, that it's not there by filters. Excellent class. Someone has a question. What?
I was wondering, is there anything we can do to help with anything what Roxy's going through lately, the apartment, purges?
She's going to move soon. Yes. She has this apartment had a cat lady They cleaned it out, but not enough. Tom's not as allergic as Roxy. You've heard her cough and stuff. She thought it was like the purging of the smoking, quitting smoking, blah, blah, blah. But it's actually some nasty-ass dander in the filtrations. So they got some things, and she goes through it every couple of days, about 3 or 4 days. But she's going to move soon. There's a movement coming into reality. So this will be free, and she'll be able to breathe. Because like when she was in there downtown in the hotels and stuff, man, she's like, these are wind tunnels now. This big old schnoz is clear. And she's like, I can breathe again. You know, it was really fun. Whew. Of course. Oh, you're so cute. Tommy is precious. Isn't he a precious vibration? Oh, for those of you, madam, thank you so much for that interaction. Roxy says that was wonderful. Okay. All right. Very good. If there's no questions, this is Attillies once again from the Atlantean Civilization. Not the one that blew up. The one that kept on going. Timelines. All right. I love you guys.